5 minutes, we discover and deliver that for you, right? So it makes you very knowledgeable about it. Today, I want to discuss about the environmental risks. So mitigating, what are the mitigations approaches that we could look at, strategies that we could look at in order for us to tackle that. Yeah. And those strategies, I would say they're plenty, right? But I'm just going to mention some of them because the whole idea is to introduce some of them for you to go and do your own research and see what you could see. And an example of strategy is, for example, the waste reduction. So you've seen that before, right? So it's something that you probably want to be looking at. The waste reduction is an example of environmental risk because if you have a lot of waste that accumulate, guess what? It's going to pose a significant threat to your business at some point in time, from an environmental perspective, and may not be good. So, what can you do to regularly, pretty much on a daily basis, monthly basis, or maybe a regular basis, getting rid of that waste to make sure that you don't expose yourself to all the issues linked to waste. Yeah. Another one is also energy efficiency. So how can you be more energy efficient? Like I say, I do get it that some people, rather surprisingly, could still say that they don't believe into renewables energy for one way or another. For one reason or another, that is fine. They don't think it's a response, that's fine. But you should all be concerned by energy efficiency, which is simply about the energy that you're using right now. So how can you better use it already? Yeah. The same quantity to achieve more. Yeah. So how can you do that? Or maybe reduce the quantity but still achieve the same thing that you're doing right now. That is what we're talking about here. How can you make it happen? And if you could do that, that is great. So that is another very powerful and effective energy technique. So sustainable resource management, that's another thing that you should be able to do. Yeah. So how can you make it happen? So how can you use that to mitigate the environmental risk that you should be looking at? And across industries, you will see best practices, right, in terms of managing these efficiencies. So in energy industry, yeah, you will see definitely. So some companies are doing relatively well. So I don't really necessarily mention all of them, but I'm sure you would have heard about Unilever, for example. That's a company doing extremely well in the way they manage the energy. And that's a leader now in the sector that you want to be emulating. So I can mention as well Google, but I don't want to just mention big names, but even small companies are doing extremely well. Look around yourself and look at who can I emulate to make sure that I can properly handle my waste, I can properly handle my energy, and I can properly handle as well the resource management. So how could you also imitate what they're doing? Yeah. And you need to make sure as well that you have a space as well for you to integrate innovative technology that can make life extremely easy for you, right? One of these, as I've mentioned in the previous video, was artificial intelligence. How can you make use of that in order for you to mitigate your environmental risk? Yeah. And don't say that you have no idea about it. Just ask. Be curious. Ask people. Check online. Chat GPT is a result everybody can access to. Yeah. So you can have the free Chat GPT tool and look at how can I handle a specific environmental risk that you would have identified. There's no reason for you not to be able to take action. If you really want to do that, I'm sure you could do it with a little bit of imagination. And one thing I'm just going to talk about here as well is the collaborative effort. Yeah, that is very, very good. Yeah, you need to have a comprehensive approach to tackle environmental risk. And the best way is basically to discuss that as a company to bring everybody together to look at what is the risk that you have identified and how can you all together make sure that you can do something about it. And you find out when you bring people together, all of a sudden, idea going to pop up. You're going to see some very clever thinking that's going to come around, and you may be able to tap in that and develop the solution that suits exactly your business. This is what I wanted to be doing. Yeah. So that's what I could say with this video. So let me know. So drop in the comments. How do you tackle environmental risk? What is the approach that you prioritizing? I could learn for you as well, from you as well. Yeah. And that's what I want. So let me know. Drop a comment, share the video with people that you know. And like I say, we just starting the year, but guess what? It's going to be so much content that we're going to be producing now and improving on the format. And I'm sure you like it. I see you tomorrow. Guess what? We have another angle that we need to cover. Take care. Bye bye.